Hi, and welcome to Color Your World. I'm your host, Linda Fisler. I'm a local artist here in Middletown, and I'm glad you're joining us because today we're going to talk about art appreciation. I'm going to teach you how to read a painting so that whenever you go to First Friday or any of the events in Middletown that have art in them, you'll be able to read a painting and enjoy it so much more. So Brett, let's go to our first painting. This is actually a painting that I did. It is of the TSS Earnslaw. It was down in Queenstown, New Zealand. I was on a plein air painting trip. Plein air means that I was painting outside in the open air. This particular one was actually done in my studio from reference that I did down in New Zealand and photographs that I had taken. This particular painting is about 20 by 24 in length, and if we can get the numbers up, we'll start to walk through this. I'll teach you how to read this painting. If we start over here where the arrow is, and you'll see a number 1, you read a painting left to right. We live in the Western world. The Western world reads books left to right on the paragraphs, and the painting in our world stays that way. We read a painting starting from left to right. So this arrow brings us into the painting. You can see the water below the dock, the bottom part of the dock, and the upper part of the dock. And we walk down the steps to these first 2 circles that we have here. These particular circles direct the eye one way or another through the painting. So we come down the dock to these circles. Below the circle here are a bunch of the reflections from the painting above, from the boat, the TSS Earnslaw. And then above takes us to this wonderful area of light and shadow. From there, we continue down further through the dock till we get to the post here. That post directs our eye upwards to this wonderful light area of the trees, which directs us back towards this nice stack, chimney stack. This was a steamship, and you can see all the wonderful steam as it directs our eye back down towards the dock. So if you enter this painting and you come in and you walk down the dock, you can either visit the reflections first or visit the boat first, going back towards the wonderful blue light here in that shadow, the blue light that exists there, which draws the eyes, or up here towards the front, where you can actually see part of the front part of the boat, where folks will walk and stand. This is actually a tour boat, so it goes up and down Lake Wakatipu the whole time we're there. So that's basically this particular, how to read this particular painting. When you come to reading the trees in the back, you can see a lot of different colors, on both sides of me here. There's some wonderful purples and some nice oranges and greens. So you can even have warm colors in the actual painting itself, in the shadow areas. So you have that wonderful blue color, you have the wonderful purple colors and orange colors here on the other side behind me. Everything is just all tied together with all those different colors that are in that shadow area. So those are all particular areas that you need to be looking at when you're looking at a painting. Not only is it important to read it left to right and around as we've done here, but also to enjoy it, because that's what the artist wants you to do. They're telling a story. So this particular story is all about this particular boat. She is the lady of the lake, and she steams up and down that boat, and she basically controls that lake. So this painting is all about this boat. So Brett, if we could go to the next painting, please. This particular painting is a Claude Monet painting of his water lilies, one of my favorite artists, and it's going to be a really interesting painting to walk through. The composition on the boat was pretty straightforward. It was an object right in the center, if you will, taking up 2/3 of the painting. So you knew what you wanted to look at. This particular painting is what they call a circular composition, and as we get into more and more shows, we'll talk more and more about composition, and everything that goes into that. It's one of the foundational keys to a painting, and drawing, composition, and your color use are so very important to create a great painting. Claude Monet was the father of the Impressionists. He understood light and shadow, he understood color, he understood composition, and he just makes it wonderful. So we can add the arrows and the numbers. This one is a little more complicated, basically because Claude Monet was a master artist. And what we do is, again, we come in from the left because we read left to right, and you can see our first arrow here. So as we come in, we have these beautiful green colors here. We have this one line right here that starts to direct us up into this painting. So we come in. What stops us from going completely up, although we can do that, is this particular flower right down here, this lily. And this lily is painted beautifully with all these wonderful points of light and this red that is almost a shadow. And when you get all the way down here, you can actually see the shadow better on the flower. So we stop and we look at this flower, we enjoy its beauty, and then it takes us back across. And we have another lily bud that is basically in shadow. Look at all of the luscious colors that Claude Monet has used here. All the darks against these blues and these purples and pinks. Mauve colors, wonderful colors. So then we're directed up here to this area where our number 4 is. There's some really loosely painted flowers here. Almost looks like the ripples of water. So it's another interpretation that you can give the painting. All these different colors of green. Look how he uses the green and the purple here, which is purple is on the red side, so you have a nice complement coming through here. Wonderfully done. Of course, it's Claude Monet. What else would it be? And then we go up to this area here. So if we happen to live in the Middle East, where they read right to left, and we look at this painting, you can almost see how you can come in on this side over here and start to read this painting from that side. So Claude Monet also took into account that not everyone reads the same way. So his paintings are always very much, there's always something to either stop you from going out of the painting or to let you come into the painting from any direction that you would like to do. So we come up from these two that are up here. We move over to 7 and 8. Here's a very calm area in the painting, right in this area here. And it is calm because it allows you to follow that nice little gesture around here, all the way up. But it brings you back because he has these directional colors, this purple here that brings you back down, and this line over here at 10 that directs you back down and gets you back into admiring this particular lily. So again, you come in, it's a very circular composition. It goes all the way around. Very, very nice composition for that definitely points out that circular motion of this painting. Very nicely done. So the first painting that we had was the boat, a central figure. Then we have nothing that really is pulling anyone's eye, so to say. There's not one thing in this painting that says, stay here, look at me, only just explore me. Every lily in this painting is done differently. It's a different shape. All the colors of greens that are in there, that are the leaves, you know that you're looking down into the lily pad or into the lily pond because you have the blue sky being represented here and all the way through. So you know that Claude was actually looking down at his lily pond in Giverny. So all these little clues that come through when you're looking at these paintings, the color choices, this is a warm painting, probably a summer day. All these little things, all these little clues that he's put in this painting tells you a lot about it. So when you're standing there looking at a painting, not only are you going to read it right to left, but you're going to ask yourself, what are these colors? How are they making you feel? Are they making you feel happy? Are they making you feel sad? Is there some story that is being told that the artist is telling you? So these are just wonderfully placed, wonderfully colored, bright sunny day. Makes you want to go to Giverny where he painted these and just enjoy them. So, from here, from the boat to the lily pond, to another painting. Brett, if we can have the next painting up. A little girl down at a flower show, if you will. This is a painting that I did. I call it Butterfly Girl. There's a little story behind this. Crone Conservatory every year has the butterfly show. Wonderful show. If you've never been to it, please go down and see it. But all the kids walk around very, very anxiously and very excitedly, and they want the butterflies to land on them. Or they want to be able to catch the butterfly on some plastic flowers that the staff gives out. It's interesting because this little girl was the most patient girl that I've ever seen. She was very, very slow and very, very meticulous in her actions, and she wanted that butterfly to get on her flower so badly that she was being very, very still, which allowed me time to study her and also take photo reference of her. I painted this back in my studio. There was no way that I could paint inside the conservatory where the butterflies are, because the butterflies would end up in all the paint and that wouldn't be very good. So what I did is I took pictures of her with her parents' permission and took this back to my studio and painted it. And again, I'm not going to put the arrows up on this one because we're going to read this on, and I want you to read this on your own as well. But basically you're going to start at the left and you're going to come to the right. If you notice, her legs down here help you come in to the central figure. This is the star of my painting. This is where I want your eye to always come back to. So with that, you come in, you come up, and you see her beautiful face. And you see that she's got a little pout on her lips because that butterfly is not getting on that flower, okay? So you see that, her hands direct you a little further into the painting, and right here is that butterfly that she wants on her plastic flowers. So this directs you back up. All of the red here, even over here, you can see where the light is hitting it. All of that red is directing you back to that central figure. If you notice, there's a little bit of an outline here of a butterfly on her shirt. And she did have a butterfly on her shirt, a drawing of a butterfly on her shirt. You can see a nice form between the light side that's hitting her here and the shadow side. When we talk about value in one of the shows coming up, we'll actually go from a color screen like this to a black and white so that we can talk a little bit more about value. But controlling your value throughout your paintings is very, very important. Claude Monet, most of the masters from long ago only use 4 values in their whole painting, but they'll use millions of colors. So understanding that and how an artist uses their values and how they use their colors is so important. And it also tells you how far along in the artist's development they are. So keep that in mind as well. If you ever want to figure out how to see value in a painting, it's very, very easy. Squint your eyes. Just squint your eyes and it'll take out all of that other noise that you see, and you'll start to see value. So again, we come in with her legs here. We move up here, see her pretty face, her beautiful hair. The arms take us over to the butterfly that is on the flower. The red flowers bring us and direct us back down to the little girl. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a great time telling you about these paintings. Our next episode will be over at Art Avenue Custom Framing. Sylvia McIntosh will be with us, and she'll be talking to us about how to frame needlepoint, needlework, paintings, and prints. It'll be very interesting. She'll be talking to us about how we will be able to enhance the painting or the needlework or the prints. So you won't want to miss that one. Please come back and join us here on Color Your World. I'm Linda Fisler.